Oh man, it's a packed house tonight here in the official living room of the North Shore. So we're here for Talk Story tonight, and welcome to Surfer the Bar. Still kind of brand new, Surfer the Bar, just almost 3 years old. And how many of you are in here for your very first time? Pretty awesome. Oh, for real, bro. So we will be broadcasting this event, this Talk Story tonight, on surferthebar.com. So it's going to be airing live right now. So if you got friends that might be near a computer somewhere else and they want to check it out, tune in. You can send them a text message to watch on surferthebar.com. Or when you go back home or something, you want to watch it again and say, I was there, it'll be loaded on there so you can watch the episode as much times as you want. My name is Rocky Cannon. I'll be your host for this evening. And we began these Talk Story nights. The biggest reason why we started these Talk Story nights, by the way, I want to say mahalo and thank you to Jody Wilmot. Let's give her a big round of applause. She was the, she helped get Surfer Magazine and Turtle Bay together to conceptualize this surfer bar, and also incorporated a Talk Story night as one of the happening events consistently here at Surfer the Bar. And Talking Story actually has a lot deeper meaning than just the two words. It has a lot of culture meaning for Hawaiians and ancient tradition. That's how a lot of stories, knowledge, legends were all passed on orally. There was no written language for ancient Hawaiians, so they did a lot of oral communication, you know, maybe some petroglyphs and things like that, but the main communication was verbally, and that's how you learned everything from your ancestors, your kupunas on down. And so the sharing of stories is super important for us, and the Talk Story nights are to keep that tradition alive. So that's where the foundation of Talk Story comes from here at Surfer the Bar. And so we've done a lot of Talk Stories, and tonight we have no exception. It's going to be a great one, as that's why you guys are all here too, a lot of you, to see this guy. But I'm going to introduce him right now. Will you guys please welcome to the stage Pipe Master, Pipe Pro Champ, Shootout Champ, all around amazing surfer, Jamie O'Brien. And he's born and raised on the North Shore, too. So he's a hometown boy. We've known each other since we were running around in wetsuits all day and little beach rats, surf rats. You're kind of rascally, brah.
Yeah, I always got into trouble, and just how it happened.
But you had this amazing talent, this amazing skill, and you're able to harness, you know, all of the things you learned living on the beach, growing up on the beach. Tell us a little bit about the experience, you know, having your dad as a North Shore lifeguard, having a house on the sand, you know, steps from pipe, and just some of the cool things that happened during that time.
Yeah, well, I was born in Kahuku Hospital in '83. And,
me too, yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Hey, it's rare breeds, you know, over there.
Yeah.
And we survived.
And then we lived at Sunset with Derek Dorner, which is a all-time waterman at all over the world. You know, it was Laird Hamilton's left-hand man, my godfather, Derek Dorner, and my dad was a lifeguard. He started actually at Turtle Bay Pool being a lifeguard, and it escalated to the city and county of Honolulu. Where he had to start. It was funny because he had to start in Waikiki, and then once he worked like 6 years, then he got out to the North Shore. So, he had to do the drive every day, back and forth, Waikiki. And, I spent some time in town in the summer surfing, causing trouble, running up and down the hotels. and it was cool, town in the summer pretty much and winter in the North Shore. I mean, growing up on the beach, it was like you got to know the ocean, you got to understand the waves. And that's the coolest part about growing up on the beach. It's like, it's memory, of of how not to get pounded and how to like relax.
Yeah.
You know the best. You're right there.
I know
with
the
us.
one. So tell us, when did you guys move to Ehukai right there?
So we were about 5 years. I was 5 years old, and we moved to Ehukai, right next to the lifeguard tower. And it's funny, actually, John lives in that same house, and that's where he was raised when we moved out.
Right.
But the funny story is you know, we lived up in Pupukea for 3 years, and you know, from when I was like 2 to 5, and then we moved. Like my mom liked horses and ducks, and you know, like the chickens and like the whole thing. We had horses, and it was crazy. Like and yeah. So my dad got an opportunity to move down to the beach because he'd be out of work right next to where we lived. It was like perfect opportunity. Yeah. He liked surfing. My sister liked horse riding. We moved to the beach, and my parents broke up. You know, my mom.
Farm and beach.
My mom wanted the horses and the ducks and chickens, and
Dad wanted the waves and the fish.
Yeah, and the lifestyle. So that's kind of like where it went wrong, but where it went right. You know, so like that was a turning point in my life, and yeah, we just grew up surfing. Actually, my sister still had a horse, and yeah, we grew up right there our whole lives, playing right there. It was awesome.
Do you have any crazy horse experiences you want to share?
Yeah, so my sister one night, she had this great idea, like, hey, let's jump on. We had this horse called Aspirin, and she's like, let's jump on Aspirin. I know how to ride the horse. Like, I know. So I'm like, okay, it's on. Let's go. So we start going fast. Like she's you know, whatever, hitting it with a stick to get it go faster, you know, like a little stick, you know, like a little whip.
Yeah.
And then, so we're like flying, going super fast. I was like, oh, this is sick, you know, like, and then like I start like kind of falling off the horse because there's no saddle,
yeah.
You know, like, and then, so I fall off, and then my sister lands on top of me, and I break my arm. And my dad is just pissed.
Oh, my God.
You know, I'm like, break my arm.
How old were you then?
5.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like falling 15 feet.
Yeah,
then.
that horse is tall, that's why.
You know, like besides, you know, a Pubikea falling out of the guava tree, you know, trying to eat breakfast and off the horse, you know, it was going nowhere for me up there.
Oh, I forgot to mention one thing actually. You know, there was an internal plot before you came on stage from your group of friends over there that they were begging me to turn this into like a Comedy Central style roast of Jamie O'Brien. It was like, yeah,
Ruben.
let's do it still. We'll have to save that for another night. Yeah. But you've grown up here on the North Shore. We had a pretty tight surfing community. All of us kids, you know, the Surratts, yourself, you know, all the kids that grew up around here. And then we had, you know, an influx of town kids that would come and want to stay at our houses all the time because we lived on this side. Talk about kind of some of your funnest memories with your friends growing up here on the North Shore.
It's you know, you kind of wanted every weekend to be a slumber party at your house at Pipeline. Like it was just, you know, what are we gonna do? We're gonna go play on the bathroom roofs and cause trouble all night and make bonfires and you know, just wake up and surf and then go kick down trash cans on the way to Ted's Bakery and you know, that was just our ritual every every weekend, you know. So they'd wonder why their trash cans are pushed over. It's funny actually. Certain people built like certain kind of fences so we wouldn't be able to go in their yard and do like, you know, like little bike sprays and like they got over us.
Tail whip into the trash can.
Year after year, weekend after weekend.
Yeah.
You know, it was you know, and you know, one funny thing, Jason Federico and I and it was I'd always get in trouble with Jason. We'd always get in trouble, man. It's like it didn't matter what we were doing, but like somehow my dad knew everyone on the North Shore because he was a lifeguard. So
right.
He would just start radioing like, "Hey, have you seen my kid on the beach?" Or like, "What is he doing?" Like I couldn't get.
APBs are going out.
I couldn't get away with nothing. I'd get home and I would be grounded. I wouldn't be grounded from surfing. I would have to go clean my room and do my homework and all that kind of stuff.
You have to do your homework.
Yeah. It was actually funny.
Poor kid.
I was 13, and he was so mad. I don't know what I did, but he locked all my boards in the shed. And I came home one day, and he's like, "You go do yard work." So I'm like doing yard work, and then then the next day so my board's been in there for about 24 hours. So next day I come home, and he yells at me, "What are you doing? Not surfing, the waves are perfect. My boards are locked up." He's like, "Get out of here." He opens up the thing, and then and he never grounded me from surfing ever again.
Yeah. So you had, everything was right there for you as far as like the waves, the beach, your dad, so and it happened for a reason, the way, your parents split, and where you ended up was all meant to happen. Do you feel like you're doing right now what you were born to do?
Yeah, I think there was no other path with my dad, on my tail about everything I did, and but at a young age, starting to travel. When I traveled, I was like 13, like going to Japan and France, like I got to learn a lot, and it helped me mature, and then it helped me not mature. It just helped me like become who I am today,
Yeah.
like yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I lost the question.
There's some guys in here that have seen you grow up. Of course, your dad's colleagues and coworkers and other people in the community. So it was like you were on your way, and each year it seemed like you would progress so much, like more than the average person. Maybe it goes from here to here. It seemed like you just kept climbing and climbing. I don't know what I was going to ask you, but what that was. We're just freestyling up here. I'm just thinking about all the stuff he does. We really need like 3 hours to talk to this guy because he does so much stuff. But we got to try to keep it concise here. Let's kind of shift gears past childhood and get up to maybe your teenage years and your first ever pipe master competition. What year was that?
First ever Pipeline Masters, it was in, I think it was in 2001. I got an invite in the mail to be.
I think that's the one. Yeah, we all got that invite.
I was tripping. I was like, oh my God.
Me too.
My dad's like, you made it.
That was
You're
nuts.
in. I was like, whoa. Like I wasn't even ready for it. Like I'm like, okay, cool. And then the day came and the waves were pretty solid, and it was a great event. And I remember actually pulling out one board. I was trying to figure out like, which board do I ride? And then I was like 19, and I'm kind of looking at my boards, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to ride a 7.0 or a 7.3. So I just grabbed the 7.0. It's brand new. My dad looks at me. He's like, "What are you doing, you idiot? You never rode that board." He's getting mad at me, and I'm just like, just let me ride my own board. It feels good. It works good.
Yeah.
So wax up the board, surf, win my heat, stoked. First pipe master heat I ever won. I was like, my dad was so pumped, dude. I'm like, don't ever tell me what board to ride ever again. So then he doesn't tell me what board to ride or what to do. So I went on. I kept advancing, and it was so weird. Okay, so then here's the funny part, or it's not funny. It was scary. I thought I was gonna die. So I'm in the quarterfinals, and it's Johnny Boy and myself, and I think it might have been CJ Hobgood and someone else. And so I look at Johnny, and Johnny's always been like an inspiration to me and a legend and an icon. So
Right.
I'm like paddling out with Johnny, and he's like, "Yeah, we got this," and he's looking at me, and he like shakes my hand, and we paddle out, and I get a nice little right, get spit out, like paddling back out.
I remember
okay.
that event. The first day was bombing, and then the second day it got real like smaller. It was like more backdoor kind.
Yeah, the day before I got nominated for the worst wipeout of the year.
The one that you like
that was
flipped
probably
over.
one of my worst wipeouts for sure. But I made the barrel, and then I went up and over into the front flip into the flats.
I remember that.
Crazy. I don't like to do that. So I'm paddling for this wave, and I'm going, "Are you going, Johnny?" And he doesn't say anything, and I'm paddling, and then I kind of like we paddle, and we both miss the wave, and he looks at me and he goes, "You cockroach," and I was like, "Whoa!" And then I was like, "I'm sorry, Johnny. I was just trying to figure out if you're going for the wave," and he's like, he just started losing at me. Like,
Whoa.
yeah, and like me, I'm 19. Johnny's, you know, my idol. Like, and he's big.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? You know, and he's telling me I'm taking food out of his family's mouth, and I'm just like, oh my God, and then he's like, I can't wait to see you on the beach, and I'm just going, oh my God, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. So I remember there was like 2 minutes left. I get this little killer right. I get spit out. I'm like, yeah, I maybe made the heat.
Yeah.
I ain't paddling back out. I'm gonna go in and I'm
Run.
gonna. So I go up the beach. I'm like kind of like speed walking, and then I'm like trying to look for my dad, and I'm like, oh shit, whatever. So I walk over to Faith. I'm like, Johnny Boy's gonna kill me. He's after me. So I walk, and I just avoided him walking back up to my house, and I'm over at my house thinking like, oh my God, like I don't know what to do. I'm shaking.
It's not like nobody knows where you live.
He's coming for me. Okay. So I'm scared, and then so then I hear all this like the trees next door, and I'm going, oh my God, what's going on?
There's a gorilla.
Yeah, he's trying to jump the fence from
Oh
the Quicksilver house into my yard, and he can't get over the fence. And I'm just going, oh my God. And I'm trying to find my dad, and my dad's nowhere near. Like my dad's gonna help me, all right?
It's like you're on your own, bro.
He would try, but
Yeah.
it's Johnny Boy. So then, but Johnny and I are great friends now, by the way.
Yeah.
So Johnny is. So he finally gives up on jumping the fence. So then he walks around down the Quicksilver yard, and he's coming up my yard, and he like almost falls over on the stairs. So he's like super pissed now, and I'm just like, I'm standing in my yard. I'm next to a friend called Rita Noy. Used to put on all the events, and he's like, it's okay, just stay right here. And so then Johnny Boy walks up in my face. He's talking to me, he's yelling at me, and I'm like, just I can't. I'm not gonna fight you. I'm gonna die.
Get
like,
it over with.
Do
Hit
it.
me.
You know, and then he spits in my face, and I was just like, God damn, like that was like the worst thing that could have ever happened. And I was like, okay, whatever, you know. And meanwhile, while he's yelling at me, he's stepping on Mick Fanning's leash, like, and Mick's trying to go out the surface heat, and Mick can't. Mick's leash is connected. Mick's like looking at him like, oh my, is he gonna move? Like, so then Mick Fanning's best friend's dad, Shaga's dad, that films yeah.
That's him right there. That's Paul.
Yeah, guys. Sorry. Sorry to drag you into this. So then Johnny Boy
was there? No.
So then Johnny Boy looks over and he goes, he goes, "Are you Jamie's security?" And he's just like, no. And then he kind of like separated it and made Johnny Boy move. And then Mick Fanning was like kind of late to his heat. And then the last words I heard from Johnny, it's a small island. I'll see you around. And I was just like, I was terrified for you know, I'm like thinking,
months after.
I'm like, Johnny Boy surfs pipeline. And I don't know if I can go down the third dip anymore. And like, I'm just like tripping out. Like, where am I going to go? You know, what am I going to do? And you know, he lives in Mililani, so I don't want to get busted like going to Walmart or something.
Yeah. Going movies like, oh.
So yeah, some time went by, and he was sweet. Next time I seen him, he was like a full
calmed
gentleman.
down.
Yeah, I was like,
Johnny, you know, he has that type of personality. He's just, you know, when he's on fire, he's going, but then after he's like, hey, you know what, bro, sorry.
Well, that's why he surfed how he surfed.
Yeah.
He surfed intense and powerful, and
Yep.
that's his actions speak louder than his words a lot of times, but sometimes not. His words were really loud and scary.
Words were scary too.
I don't care who you are. He was intimidating.
That's a great story. Let's clap for that story. That was awesome. So you're 19. You're in the quarters with Johnny. You obviously advanced because history, we know what happened that year. And you made the final.
Yeah.
In your first pipe master ever. That's pretty impressive. Yeah,
I remember in the semifinals, I looked over and I made my heat, and Andy Irons was like, "Congratulations, Jamie!" And I was like, "Whoa!" Like, I'm actually in the final. And you know, to be honest, like when I got in the final, I was just so like I couldn't believe that actually happened. And I was in the final with CJ Hobgood, Bruce Irons.
That's when Bruce won his first one.
Yeah, CJ, Bruce, and
who was that year?
There's one more guy in there. No, but I was in the final, and I I just went and kind of sat on the side. I knew where some little waves were coming through, and that was my game plan. And I didn't stick. I should have just went and sat and battled it out, and I just got fourth.
Yeah.
I was satisfied.
It kind of like on paper it looked like you're just stoked to be there, and
which I look back now, and I think that was kind of a bummer, but it's all cool.
Yeah, hey,
It's
you're in
life.
the finals. Yeah,
It was.
I kind of think that that was a big statement for you as a young guy in your first Pipe Masters, surviving Pipe and then surviving Johnny Boy Gomes in the quarterfinals. Even like not even just as a surfer in the heat, but actually having a run in and surviving him almost jumping over the fence to your yard. And
Yeah.
so I think for me looking, because we all know each other, where what we've been doing and our careers and stuff like that. It's everywhere. When I look at your career, I look at that event, of course, as like a huge jumping off point for you. I mean, where you went, like I said, you here and then you just went stratosphere kind of. So after that, what did you, like the next day or the next week, you're like, wow, I'm a Pipe Master finalist. Now what? Of course I want to get back to the final. I want to win.
No, I don't know. It's just when you're surfing a contest at Pipeline, it's like you have that urge, you want to win, and you're focused on the main goal. But it's like you gotta win your heats first. Like you gotta like it's a lot of technique, a lot of ability, but then a lot of luck. It's like don't matter how good you are, the waves don't come your way, or
Yeah.
you make the simple mistake.
Yeah.
You're not gonna advance. May the best surfer win.
Yeah.
And usually on their day that they'll be advancing heats, like they're on rhythm. Some days you're on and some days you're off. And those days that you're off, when you're surfing Pipeline or anywhere of a wave of consequences, it's not a pretty day.
So you keep surfing at Pipe. You're living right there. It's you formed this very symbiotic relationship with the wave to where I think it's probably super unique to anybody else that surfs Pipeline. And you surf a few more years, and you get to 2004, I think it is, and you break through and make the final again, and this time you win. What was that like?
Yeah.
And you're only 22.
What was cool that morning? I woke up and I was like, okay, today is quarters, semis, and finals. And my Hawaiian friend Alfred, we went down and did a morning offering to the sea gods, Honolulu, and there's a bunch of them, and they did a haka, and it was really cool. We gave back to the ocean that day, and
Ask permission.
yeah. I remember my first quarter. It was a quarters. It was Bruce was in my heat, and Kelly. No, it was in the semis. It was me, Bruce, Kelly, and someone else. And I got a good one. And I was like stoked. I got a sick one. And then Bruce got a good one. I was like sick. Bruce and me are gonna make the heat. And then Bruce got another one. And then Kelly got one. And I was like, oh shit. Kelly will paddle for a wave that you won't even look at, and you'll glance and he'll go, are you going? And you're like, no. And he'll get a 9.7.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You're looking at it like, nothing just closed out. No,
Yeah.
it was perfect.
Yeah.
Like something happens.
Yeah.
I don't understand
He's
it.
got that special relationship too.
I think he's got a lot more than that. I can't figure it out yet. He paddles for waves that no one paddles for, that you wouldn't paddle for it.
Right.
Like, not saying it's heavy, but it does.
Doesn't look
he
like it's
sees
gonna offer
something that-
much, yeah.
He sees something that we don't see.
Yeah.
So which is cool. So then I start going like, hey Bruce, you gotta help me out, dude. Like, hey, sit on Kelly. Hey, help me stop Kelly, please. And then Bruce is kind of like looking at me, Bruce, like, just kind of looking at me, like
He's
funny,
just looking at you, not saying
like,
anything.
I don't know, I want to help you, So, God. So then Bruce gets another good one, and then I got a sweet wave, and I got a 6 score, and then the heat was done, and then I was like, oh my God, I'm in the finals.
Again.
Oh yeah, again. And yeah, and then coming into the finals, like Kalani Robb, Sonny Garcia, and Bruce Irons, like like so. The heavy part about this final is I already know Bruce and Sonny are gonna get the rights. Like it's gonna be really hard for me to get one. Like
A backdoor, yeah.
So I was like, "Cat," and I'm trying to think like, what's Kalani thinking?
Yeah.
Kalani's gonna be after lefts. I'm gonna be after the lefts, and Sonny's gonna be after the rights, and Bruce. So I'm like, guess I'm going left. So I paddle up, got an 8 right off the bat, and the heat was kind of slow, but there was a couple lefts, and there was no rights through the whole thing. It was really, really slow.
Yeah.
And then I got another left, and then I had like a pretty good heat score, and I was like, well, at least I ain't getting fourth. I'm thinking like, you don't want to get fourth, but it's cool. Yeah. It doesn't matter. I got fourth a couple years back.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to better my results. So
yeah.
So then, I think we traded. I think a couple of guys got a couple 7s. Like it started up, and then I paddled right by Kalani Robb, and I got a 9.97, and it was like one of the most like intense things I've ever felt in my life. Like when I came out, I was like I could get second now. Like
yeah.
But meanwhile, like there was still 30 minutes to go. I got a 8 point something and a 9.97, and there's still no rights.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I was wearing a watch, man. The time was so slow motion. I felt like I was in the longest barrel of my life. Like, like GoPro'd slow down too. Like it was just like, it's like the time was just like, it was crazy, man. I was looking at my watch. I was like, come on, man, just go. No sets. So then, anyways, long story short, sets just pop up on the horizon. I think Sonny needed a high 9. Bruce needed a high 9. Here comes like 4 incredible rights. I can't go right really. Like I was. They waited. They were sitting there. So, the sets are coming. They're like 20 seconds away, and they're going 20 seconds counting down, and I'm just going, oh my God, this is like crazy. And like I swear, the horn blew. Sonny got a 10. Bruce got a 10, and I was just going, oh my God, like this. I'm like, it was so close that like, did it count? Like what? So I ended up winning, and I was just like, I was so stoked.
Yeah,
it was cool.
That heat was. It's kind of eerie to think about, the offering you did, the permission you asked, and the ocean, the way it treated you in the final. 2 right off the bat, put everybody in the corner, and hardly any waves came in after it. It was like it was meant to be. It was, your offering was well received.
Yeah, the offering was well received. I don't think anyone was in a corner when you're surfing against those kind of names.
Right.
I thought the cool thing was that Sonny was on Takoro surfboard. Kalani Robb was on a Takoro. I think 3 of us out of the 4 were on Takoros. I was like, that's so sick. Like, that just proves like such like great board shaper, which I thought was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah. So then, so here's the good part. So my best friend Ruben back there, he told me if I ever won he goes, what would you do? Because I never drank until I was 21, on the night of the Pipe Masters. So he goes like this, what would you do to drink with me? What would it take? And I looked at him. This was about 3 years before this happened. I thought, I'll win the Pipe Masters. I'll get hammered with you. Like, cool. Like, let's on. So then he's like, yeah, shoot, it's right on. Like, he was like so confident about the whole thing, and I was like, whatever. Like, it was just.
That'll probably never happen. So I'm never drinking. No.
It's like me going fishing trying to catch a fish. Like, it ain't gonna happen. That's what I was thinking. But so then, yeah, I win. He hands me this bottle of Tanqueray. Next thing you know, I'm drinking. And I got to do interviews. I'm still in my jersey, and everyone kept pouring beer on me. And I was like, I'm just leaving this thing on. I partied all night, and I was like, I was in the bushes for a while, and then I came out of the bushes, and then went back into the bushes. My dad's like, I'm gonna call the ambulance. I got right back up, and just kept going. And we took really good care of our yard, and the yard there was like, I've never seen a party like that in my life. I woke up I couldn't go to sleep. I was spinning. I didn't know what I was doing. If you have some of those Mai Tais, you'll probably feel the same effect.
Yeah.
At the bar. So then I couldn't go to sleep. I was spinning like on my bed. I was just tripping. Like.
So how long did you wear the jersey?
I fell asleep.
With and on?
The next day almost.
Yeah.
No. So then I walk outside in the morning, and there's Rabbit by Tholoman sleeping on the deck next to the dog. I was like, yes, like, this is so good. Then I look down, there's people sleeping all over the beach. There's people in the bushes. Yeah. I was like, this is a sick party. And the yard is mud. The yard is just like trampled mud. And I had like a 2-day hangover, and then I
recovered.
I recovered. It was awesome.
And you've had some Pipe Pro victories since then. You've won the backdoor shootout. You've conquered all 3 of the main events at Pipe, and now you just surfing now. Professional surfing has so many different avenues. You can be a contest guy, QS going to qualify. You can be going on these photo trips, making videos and clips and movies. You can, take it to a level where you're doing like some work on the road, like Rostovich and those guys do. They travel and surf and do that. You've carved a nice niche for yourself. You explored the heavy competition side of it before, but what kind of made you choose the path you're on now?
Right around the time I won the Pipe Masters, I think Rip Curl was asking me to get full on the QS, get on the CT, and that's where we want you to be. And at the time, I was like, it's not really what I want to do. I don't know, I honestly just want to stay home. I wish Pipeline kept breaking and didn't stop.
Yeah.
So then it would be uncrowded. But yeah, I look back, like maybe I could have qualified, but maybe I couldn't have. I don't know. I'm not too worried about it.
Right.
And like it would have been cool. It would, like I still would like to be on there with John, but
yeah.
I've had fun free surfing. I was stoked. It was just constant fun, and I think what everything's turning into is like we got our show, the JOB 5.0, and
yep.
And it just gave me an opportunity to keep having fun. And I think like I don't know, like it might sound weird, but like I kind of got like how many more barrels am I gonna get? Like let's start like exploring with soft tops. Let's start like like trying to like make it more interesting, make you work harder to be in a certain place that you never imagined to put boards. So I wake up every morning going, how am I gonna have fun?
Yeah.
And that's where my career has landed me, and I'm super stoked to be where I'm at and doing what I'm at.
Lately, you've been doing some GoPro stuff. Those cameras have allowed not only surfers, but all kinds of sports folks to be super creative, getting all kinds of cool different angles. And we're gonna watch one of your clips right now. It is a clip of Jamie doing the ultimate. When we were kids, we used to always talk about, because we, paddling shortboards around and far breaks. It's like, God, paddling sucks. I hate paddling. I just wish I could just surf. Like at the ski lift, like takes you up the mountain. You just ride down. It's all fun. You don't have to work. And it's like paddling is just horrible. And we always kind of dreamt up like how you could make a longboard paddle, and then when you stand up, you hit a button and it converts to a shortboard, so you can rip. I think this is maybe the closest we're ever gonna see.
Okay, but Kelly Slater asked me one time in the water. He goes, would you rather be able to paddle like a jet ski or surf at night? And I was like, oh, surf at night. And he looks at me and goes, I'd rather paddle like a jet ski. But now that I come think about it, I'm a little older. I'd like to paddle like a jet ski. So that's what this clip kind of felt. It's like a little slower than a jet ski, but
small guy,
it kind of works.
Yeah. It's longboard, shortboard combination.
Rolling.
Roll, please. Hey. see it over there.
Hey.
Hey, there's a play button. And
Well, I think this is.
I think
from
this
my
is
heat.
this is actually the GoPro in his mouth during his heat yesterday. He's surfing. There we all are watching, and there's Jamie threading a sick pipe barrel. Yeah. That's what it looks like, folks. That's what it looks like. And here, I was commentating this heat, and I knew you were going to do that. I go, watch, here comes an air attempt coming up. And sure enough, a little twirly bird attempt, but...
It was like a foot deep there.
yeah, it was it was doubling up crazy.
Yeah.
Let's throw that clip up of... so that I can look like I know what I'm talking about, of him with the switch, the board
Pick
switch.
the right wave.
Here we go.
Grab the board off the front with one hand, spin it around, hopefully pull in and come out. I don't know. Oh, but that's it right there. Probably won't even make it out. Who knows?
Everybody's like, what the hell are you doing? What? Oh, this is the heat. Oh no, this is the back doorway. Oh. No way. That was a long one.
Sweet.
Awesome. That's, I mean, the GoPros have literally revolutionized the way we can make surf movies, the way we can make angles all at the same time, and not having to have like a big crew of like, you know, you got to go stand over there and film. You got to, you can have you got a drone, a mount, you know, mouthpiece. You get all these great angles. And what's some of your funnest, I don't know, some of the funnest things you do with like playing around with your GoPro besides this kind of stuff?
Late nights with the GoPro get weird. Not like in that sense. Not like that. No, it came out bad. No, I'm just saying,
setting
like,
you up, boo.
Yeah, I love my GoPro. So I start building different mounts and like and you know, like just like I don't know, different poles and just, you know, like you're adding and you're thinking about the shot you want, like, so you're like premeditating like this like perfect shot, you know. And I keep telling everyone like it's repetition, it's, you know, just keep over and over and over again, and I'll literally like, you know, like be in my room like twisting things and like thinking of weird angles, like,
right.
You know, like how am I gonna outdo Anthony Walsh, like you know, but like, you know, like how am I gonna get the next cool shot? Like we got to keep it interesting, and you know, and that with the camera being that small, it allows you to take it anywhere you want to take it.
Yeah, the creativity you can get with it is crazy.
Yeah, and yeah, it just I think it's classic. Like I you know, I'll spend a couple hours on it. And when I was in South Africa with Kalani Chapman, I swear, he built this GoPro thing that was like, you know, it was incredible. He was getting these next level shots, but like he would look at the thing. He'd make sure it's He'd spend hours looking at it, figuring it out. Like that's how into it you become, you know. And,
Yeah.
and it's just funny, man. Like it's just to see someone so stoked on something to make it's that's our job, to build content. Like how hard is that to be?
Yeah,
You know, it's like,
yeah.
and if you're not using the camera, then you're not building content. And
Right, right.
with a device like this, like we just been going loony. You could, yeah.
So where can people find a lot of the stuff that you film and edit and put out there? Where can they find it?
We got our show called Who Is Joby 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, and working on 5.0. It's, you know, it's a bunch of stupid, funny stuff and surfing and hanging out. You know, just basically trying to embrace life to be more fun, you know, like not the average surf movie, like, you know, like take it to the next level. Like, I don't know, like
Get creative.
it's hard to
Yeah.
look at a wave and go, what can I possibly do different that they haven't done?
Right.
You know, and like, not to say that I learned the board transfer from Chris Ward, but it's like, how can I take this to the next level? Like, and that's how I try and look at surfing, since I can't keep up with John and those crazy airs. Like, I gotta do something else over here, you know.
Yeah, one of the funniest clips I remember in one of your movies is you, and I forget who you were with, but you're in Indo, I think in Kuta, and you just were like, you guys were meant to be these never surfed before from South Africa, and you guys took a lesson or something. It was hilarious.
Yeah, that was so funny. We were doing this lesson, man. They had no clue. You know, they were making all these jokes, like thinking.
He had cornrows, like white cornrows. And then he's like walking up to like, yeah, we don't know how to surf, and we want to learn, and we're from South Africa, and the guys have no idea. These are like two of the best surfers in the world.
we got a full
They were like
dude. We were.
just like
It was so
falling
funny.
in the funniest positions and just doing that those outlandish, like, yeah.
You know what's funny is after they figured it out, I was trying to high five him. He was so mad. I went back there the next year, and he was so mad that the two instructors were like, they were like pissed off. Like they were like embarrassed by all their friends. And, like,
Oh my God.
Now we're cool, but like
Yeah.
for like a year there, he was over me. Dude.
Yeah.
He got rousted for everyone in Kuta, man. Like it was really funny. you
Yeah,
know?
because you left and went back home. He was still getting
Yeah.
rousted for it.
and then it went viral.
Yeah.
Yeah, too funny.
So that's some of the creativity that he puts into not only the awesome surfing that you get to see, but you get to see some of the comedy, the funny antics, and the, you know, just stuff makes you laugh, have fun with it, and gives you ideas too. I mean, what you're doing, I think, is trickling out there, and people are, you know, getting spin-off, you know, creativity from what you're putting out there. So
Just pure stoke. I mean, things that, we just keep having fun. Today we went and Squatch Waimea.
I was going to ask you about that next.
Yeah.
You've been out on waves, on a raft,
Yeah.
doing crazy stuff like that, going over the falls at Pipe. Today you went. A Squatch is an inflatable, huge stand-up paddleboard where you can fit like 8 people or something on it. or 7 people. You have a steersman who sits in the back with fins and tries to contort his body to steer this massive craft.
It doesn't really work that well at Waimea, I figured out today.
Is that what you learned today?
But it was successful. So the board's like 17 feet tall. Like when I first went to Brian, Kailana, and Todd to get the board in town, I looked at it and I was like, no, that's not the board. He's like, that's the board. I was like, how is it gonna fit inside my house? He's like, oh, it just deflates. Hit the deflate button, the thing folded up to like this cushion of this couch, and you can put it anywhere.
Yeah.
So then then it just things started ringing. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, like where are we gonna take this thing?
Yeah.
And we went to Pipe. We got a couple of fun ones. Like, took a couple bad wipeouts, a couple paddles to the head. It's pretty intense, but really fun. And then we took it to Sunset the day after Michelle Perez won the event, which was amazing. And we actually took it a month before that, and it's funny. So we kind of took this first wave, and we rode it. We're kind of shoulder hot, but we thought we were hype and thought we did good. And then we paddled back out. And we caught another one, and we paddled back out, and I look over and I'm like, we're like, oh, Sonny's out. So then he looks over and he goes, "Oh, you guys gonna keep taking off on the shoulder or something like that?" I was like, oh my God, he just called us out. So we had to like paddle straight to the West Beach, and then we got a bomb, and it was all because of Sonny just hyped us right into it. So thank you, Sonny. He got us all hyped up. Oh, the clip, right?
Slacking on the clips.
Yeah, I should have. I don't know. But anyways, we went back and we pretty much, like, I don't think you could get. We were in the pocket of this perfect sunset wave, and it was one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life. We rode a 8-10 foot wave from out the back. Kala was actually out the back. We were like, hey, we can't. The only person we can't drop out on here today is probably Kala. Like, he's out there with his like.
And Sonny.
Yeah.
Or,
Well, no, Sonny wasn't out that day. I don't think. Maybe he was. We didn't see him. So, but actually, the wave we had, we dropped in on Joel Tudor, which is like a black belt in jiu-jitsu. We're like, oh, great wave. But we, it's all good. So I told him sorry after. He's like, no worries, that was so funny. I was like, you should have jumped on with us. So we got this wave. We came off the bottom at sunset, and I'm just going, oh my God, I'm dragging behind, like controlling with my Viper fins.
Yeah.
And I'm coming around the corner. They're going, go, go. And I let off my fins and just kind of make them nice and straight and hold this line, and the thing just. It pitches and it throws over, and I'm getting the view, it's like right here, and the thing's like spitting out this foam ball, and it starts spitting, and I'm going, I have this feeling before at Pipeline where you're like, oh my God, this is the best wave of my life. It's too good to be true. I need to make it.
Yeah.
And it just like it like started like we're getting the squeeze. It was really weird. I don't know what happened, and we just popped out and like we just started high-fiving each other. It was like one of the best waves of my life. And I shared it with 7 of my friends.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Who would have ever thought you could, thanks to Brian
7 guys
Caruana,
can get barreled at the same time.
how like
Yeah. That's,
if you have $3,000, I would suggest you go buy one. It is so fun. It is so fun. I didn't get it for free. I bought it, and I'm like, I love the thing, man. I could take it up rivers. I could go wherever I want.
yeah.
And we're gonna go to Jaws on another swell too. And
Oh my God.
we got a couple of the guys from Maui, the skull-based guys, Sean and DK, maybe Ian Walsh, and then a couple of the boys from North Shore, and we're just gonna go over there and try and get a few.
Who was your crew on that 7-man barrel?
7-man barrel. We had Ezra Sitt from Sunset Beach. We had Mikey Bruno. We had Brian Emery.
Ooh, Ronald McDonald.
We had Poopies, of course.
Yeah.
Kalani Chapman and Jesse. And the funny thing about Jesse is Jesse don't surf waves unless Gums is breaking or Queens is breaking. Like, dude, we're like, hey, we're going, and it's on. And he was like, oh, and right when we pulled up the sunset, it's like 12 feet. He's going, oh shit, what did I get myself into, dude? And we're like, no, we're good, we got this. And as we're paddling out the back, these sets start stacking. And when sunset's stacking, it's scary.
Yeah.
Some of the worst beatings of my life is that sunset. I went, what are we going to do, bail 12 guys with a 17-foot board? Like, all the worst case scenarios are running through your brain.
Right,
You're like,
right.
Shit's going to hit the fan real fast out here at Sunset Beach. Like, and so, next thing you know, I get this guy that's never surfed a wave bigger than 5 feet under like a 10 or 12 foot wave at sunset.
Yeah.
Like, and I get him in the barrel. Like, it was just so surreal.
Yeah.
So he was funny. This morning he woke me up and he's like, hey, what's up, Sup Squatch? What are we doing? Where are we going? And I'm like waking out of bed. I'm like, dude, I might have the pipe trials today. Like, I don't know what you're thinking right now. Like, he told me,
wanted to be in the contest with you. He was like, hey, what? Can we try to get the sub-squatch in? I want to be the pipe master.
He was saying, he was like, okay, well, like if the contest doesn't run, I want to go. So then next thing you know, I have this group of guys, and
Fired
he never
up.
texted me back, and he fell asleep, and we're loading the board, and right when he walks out, he goes, oh, you guys are going without me? Like, he was all bummed. And then we all felt bad, and then we went and got some good waves at Waimea, and he was kind of mad at us this afternoon.
Oh.
Sorry, Jesse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. we were walking on the road, and it was pretty funny because that board's really big, and we had
It's a spectacle.
Yeah, we took a bad wipeout in the shore break. It was bad.
Did you catch a shore break wave?
We pearled.
Oh my God.
We rode the wave all the way in, and we got to the inside, and we pearled straight into the sand. I thought we were gonna pull in, but I forgot that we've had no big swells this year, and there was no sandbar on the beach. It was just slam bar. Right
Slam bar.
Slam, bang, right on the beach. And that's what happened. We lost the GoPro for a couple minutes, found the GoPro, and then, we're just like, okay, we're good at Waimea for a little while.
We have at these Talk Story nights, each night we select an organization to donate money to help whatever the cause is. And tonight's donation is going to go to the Mauli Ola Foundation. If you don't know, they do a lot of work. Some of the brothers right here. They do a lot of work with kids and adults with cystic fibrosis and get them in the ocean because the salt helps them clear out their lungs and it helps them for treatment. So the Mauli Ola Foundation, Kala, and all the boys, you guys do a lot of beach days for kids. How's that been?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I've been a part of the program for 8 years, and and lucky to have guys like Kalal and Sonny and all the surfers, Kalani Rob. Everyone comes in and everyone helps these kids. These kids they got a disorder which salt water helps clear their immune system. You guys, when I was sick when I was little, my dad would tell me go surfing. It clears it out. You blow everything out. You clear your immune system. You start to feel a little bit better when you come in for a surf. So that's what it does to these kids. And it actually, from my understanding and from what I know, it adds another 8 to 10 years on these kids' life. It opens up a whole new thing for them. It brings them love, and what it brings more to them is a smile on their face, which brings us a smile, and it makes the parents happy that the kids are surfing, and these kids are usually sick in a hospital, so when they get to go do something, I'm sure before they didn't go surfing, and now they get to experience a day at the beach and go surfing and maybe turn it into a lifestyle, which some of them have, there's some great kids that are surfing because of what Maui Ola started, and there's quite a few. I'm not exactly what's the patient count that Maui Ola works with?
2,000.
2,000 kids,
in recent years.
And it just adds years to their life, years to their family, many more years of smiles. We're getting kids that's done it multiple times. They keep coming, because maybe they'll fly from California just to come to the event in Hawaii. So it's a great organization, and it's my pick, it's my favorite, and everyone's in it for the right reasons. And there's a big event, I think, on the 3rd at Turtle Bay.
13th.
The 13th.
This Saturday.
This Saturday at Turtle Bay. I went last year, and it was the most amazing event. It was a real special event. For the kids, for your own self-entertainment, for a silent, cool auction, great music. It was just, I'm there. So I hope I see you guys there.
It'll be this Saturday, December 13th. I think it's in the back Kuilima Ballroom. So the big ballroom in the back where all the cool parties happen. Of course, there's cool parties here too, but we can't fit as much people. We want to bring everybody back there. We got 2 pretty good hosts.
Who's the host?
Myself and Kaipo Guerrero will be there hosting.
Oh yeah,
so.
you guys are awesome.
Yes,
that's gonna be killer.
But I think Paul Ofunga's gonna play music. Mike
Awesome.
Love. If you guys ever seen Mike Love, that guy is the most talented, under the radar musician I think that's on the scene right now.
And Paula Fuga.
And Paul Ofunga.
She'll make you fall in love. That's crazy.
and Donovan Frankenreiter too, and also Perry Farrell with Jane's Addiction from back in the day.
Wow.
And also there'll be Tahiti Mana dance troupe that'll be performing there.
Don't stand too close to the dance floor because you'll be dancing within seconds with no shirt. The
#1 Tahitian dance group in the world will be at this foundation fundraiser on Saturday. So you guys get your tickets. Inquire at mauliola.org, or you can just talk story with these guys after and get a seat, get a table. There'll be food, there'll be entertainment, and it's all for a super good cause. And tonight, actually, is we're gonna raise money tonight too. There'll be a bucket at the door, and if you feel so inclined to drop something in the bucket, it'll go straight to these guys that will give it directly to the kids that need it, and where the funds go to put on all these and surf treatment days and fun beach days. So that's our.
Yeah, thanks, Claude. Yeah, my buddy Tim Reardon asked if I could help out with one of his good childhood friends, James Dunlop, and he said, hey, he explained what these kids are going through and what they needed, and what I could do for them. And so we went down to Newport Beach, and the kids were stoked. We have to keep the kids 10 feet apart from each other. We have to clean the boards, and it's good. It's we make sure all the kids don't spread their viruses and stuff, and the kids were just so stoked, and it turned into something like so amazing. I mean, it's been what, 8 years, Claude? 8 years. Claude is the president, vice president, and he's Claude. I think this turned Claude's whole life around, and it's been so awesome. And I'd like to throw it out to Claude for changing. This guy's the funnest guy to talk. He should be up here talking, because every time I see him, I want to know a new story that happened. He's just so funny. I'm working on it.
That's where it comes from. Experience.
Awesome.
But you have many, many awesome experiences to this point. You're still a young dude, and you're young brother, I should say. I don't like to say dude in Hawaii. What are you doing? And you're gonna have so much more experiences. What's we'll close it out by maybe talking a little bit about maybe something coming up for us to watch for in the near future, or what do you got in the works?
We're filming for our show, Who is JLB 5.0.
Okay.
Which is fun, it's fun for me and Poopies and all the boys.
Is this stuff that you can watch online?
Yeah, it's on Red Bull / Who is JLB.
Okay.
And Poopies will be a good boy this winter, Sonny and Kala. I promise. Maybe not. No, he'll be good. But we're just filming for our show, and just surfing, having fun. I mean, I kind of explained to you.
Just gonna keep doing this.
If you got a day off, wake up and go, how can I have the most fun I could possibly have? And then just start figuring it out.
Yeah.
Figure something out for sure.
When you do that, it's not even like you're working.
We gotta live a little, because we're living in a dream place, and you gotta live the dream to live here. So, there's a balance somewhere. Everyone goes, "Oh, Hawaii's so nice, but the food's so expensive." You're gonna let the food being expensive stop you from moving to Hawaii?
Yeah.
Hello. You pay for where you're at.
That's not that. I'm like, a gallon of milk. It's like, don't drink as much milk, man.
Oh, you pay $1 extra for milk.
But so we'll keep our eye on you, JOB. Definitely keep an eye on this guy the next few days at the Billabong Pipe Masters. He's into the final of the Invitational. 4 guys left, only 2. And I'm pretty sure he made some new friends here tonight.
Yeah,
that'll
right
be
on.
cheering for you on the beach in the next couple days.
Cool. Yeah, thanks, guys. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Thank you, Rocky. Thank you, Surfer Bar, Mauiola, Kala, Sonny, all the guys at GoPro, and all my boys back there, Ruben, Scotty. Yeah. Yeah, good times, and yeah, you guys enjoy your night. Thank you.
All right. Jamie will be around to, maybe talk story, take some pictures. hang out and cruise. And of course, if you want to find out more about the Mauliola Foundation,